Okay, so number 4 on the non-calculator is asking for what are the solutions? What are the answers? What are the x-intercepts? What are the x-equals of the quadratic equation? And we're going to solve by factoring. So guys, this is what I was talking about. If we tell you specifically what to do, you have to do it that way. Otherwise, all your work points, which is the majority of the question, you won't get on that question. Okay? So here we go. First order of business when factoring. There's 2 ways that you can do it. You can do it the number sense method that I first showed you out of all the methods. Okay, almost like that trial and error. Or you could do something that was called factor by grouping. Either one of these is a factored form. Okay? So number sense, I would look at my first 2 terms right here and here and know that they would multiply to get 3x squared. You tell me, what should I put there? 3x. Yep, 3x and x. That gives me my 3x squared. Okay? The last 2 are the next ones that I'm going to focus on. Is I'm going to say what times what would give me a positive 42. There's a lot of different things that I could do here. I could do 1 and 42. Remember the rainbow that we were talking about? I could do 2 and 21. I could do 3 and what? 12? No, not 3 and 12. 3 and 14. Y'all with me? What else could I do? 7 and 6. So I could do 6 and 7, 3 and 14, 2, 21, or 1 and 42. Which one were the ones that we learned to start gravitating first to? 6 and 7, right? So here we go. I can use 6 here and 7 here, or I could have put 7 and then 6. It does matter placement-wise if this is something other than 1. You see what I'm saying? So we have to ask ourselves, 21 and 6. I multiplied those. 21 and 6 will either give us 27 or what? Or 15. Is that what I need? That's not what I need. Okay? So maybe I put the 6 and the 7 in the wrong spot. So I could put 7 here, and I could put 6 here. Here we go. I have 7 and 18. It will either give me a what? 25 or 11. There's the 25 that I needed. So my placement is perfect. Now I just got to finish with correct signs. Okay? What sign does 7 get? Positive. And 6? Positive. And everything works. If I were to refoil or redistribute this all out, I would get my original standard form of that quadratic. Okay? So set each one equal to 0 and solve. We get negative 6 and we get negative 7/3. So you can write them out like 2 different answers, or you can just write negative 7/3, negative 6. If you're not good at this, you're going to be tempted to want to do quadratic formula. But you will get no points for work. You will only get very little for the answers if you get them. Okay? So, factor by grouping. Here we go. We look at our A and C term and we multiply. So it'll be 3 times 42, and we're going to see with what we get. So what? That's 126. After that, we will ask ourselves, what 2 numbers will multiply to get this? Okay? What 2 numbers will multiply to get 126, but at the same time will add to get this number right here? So add to get 25. So you tell me, what 2 numbers will multiply to get 126, but will add to get 125? 18 and 7. Nicely done. Okay? So now with this, I need to make sure that I have a certain, well, let me show you visually over here. So I'm erasing because I'm out of room. But what we're doing with factoring by grouping is we're making this center term into two terms. We broke up 25 to show 18 and 7. The 3x squared is still there, the 42 is still there, and the 0 is still there. Okay? From here, I will GCF the biggest things that each of these pairs have in common. What's the first thing that we have here? What's the GCF of the first parentheses? 3x. From the first parentheses, we're only working with this right here. What are the scraps that are left over? Plus 6. Now over here, what's the GCF that we're going to pull out from this? 7. So I'll pull out this 7. And what are the scraps that are left? X plus 6. So again, what's inside the parentheses is one of the answers. What's outside of the parentheses, or one of the factors is what I meant to say, is the other factor. Now if I solved from these factors, because I set them equal to 0, I'd get negative 7/3 there, and I would get a negative 6 here. So I still get my answers. They're just going to be shown as far as the factor by grouping method. Any questions? Okay.